What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. There is a ton of things going on today. The market is very stimulated, and we'll get into that soon, and a little piece of news here on Market Watch. But first, I want you guys to be able to get a big win, but it's only going to be one of y'all. It is a very big one. I'm giving away a Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girl from the OCG. This is from their Legendary Duelist set. Very disappointed we didn't get it in ours. It would have been really freaking cool. But somebody in the audience is gonna get it. All you gotta do to enter this giveaway is be a subscriber, because I'm not gonna give it back to someone who isn't somehow supporting the channel. Like this video, and tell me your worst impulse or drunk Yu-Gi-Oh buy, because I just did a couple of my own. The first piece back here is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Balance. This is like, it goes above the windows and it's freaking giant. And I have no clue why I bought this other than I thought it was one of the weirdest pieces of Yu-Gi-Oh! History. I bought this sticker set because it was $17 and the next ones were like $80, and it looked like a piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! History as well. Stickers, I kind of critiqued Konami on having stickers as prizes, and then I went and bought a bunch. And this one seems pretty cool to me, but for $20 it's a bit much. It's a window cling, so you actually peel this like a sticker, and you put it in a window so that the text will be facing the right way. And I think it's pretty badass, but $20, that's a little above what I usually would be spending. But this is for you guys, slamming my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying as a thank you. I want to give back every single month to those that are giving to me, and the TCG player link enables me to do that. They don't tell me to do giveaways, I don't have to do them, but I love giving back to you guys, and I've really been enjoying that and finding stuff that I truly want to get in the mail to give back to y'all. That being said, a little piece of news here: the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card database has Eternity Code as a section, but when you click it, it says the card list release date will be May 1st. I think we'll get that a little sooner. They typically get ahead, and as I understand, Konami EU will still be getting this on time, meaning vendors are about to start getting it, which is how we used to get spoiled on sets. So I feel like an update's coming sooner than this date, especially with the EU getting it on time. So this will be interesting to watch. Maybe it'll pop up tonight. We'll be live streaming. Maybe it's gonna be another drunk stream. Please don't make me impulse buy anything, though. That being said, impulse buying is very much around with everything skyrocketing on market, it feels like, or even baby bumping up in price, because people got their checks in the mail today, or directly into their bank account, and they've gone a bit wild with them. We see Eldritch the Golden Lord approaching $100 freaking dollars, and Researcher skyrocketing towards 80. This is crazy. I love the Adamanticators. I think they are a highly underestimated deck, but this price point, this is freaking crazy to me. And $100 for the Golden Lord. It's getting wild out here. The other stuff isn't really even spiking versus it. They're just getting the top pieces and going, I'll get the rest later. You better be building your cart and getting the cheap stuff sooner, because we've seen history time and time again. Widow Anchor, bloop, there goes its price up. The secondary pieces tend to go far up, and that's why I think Black Awakening is very underestimated, as is, I think, Risen Leonite. I think both of these cards, they'll end up going up further than these current prices, and the rest of the set just so cheap if you are hunting Secret Slayers. Now, the prices are a little bit cheaper on tier 0, but I wouldn't suggest these prices, even though they're my sponsor, and you can use code What'sGood5 to directly support the channel, and I can't stop you from doing anything. I cannot say that I would suggest this. I think these prices are somewhat ridiculous. They're very, very freaking but hey, nice price. But I think they're just straight up ridiculous for what the cards are. Now, it's not just these. We see all across the market. Apollosa was free falling. We have the Megatons announced. We know that Rising Rampage is involved. We should have known that anyways, but we have the announcement of the Megatons. The clock is ticking on reprints, yet people are buying these with no events to play them at. This is where it gets a little bit crazy. This is where I go along with you guys in the comment section that are going, yeah, the cards, oh, you can't play them at events. What are they worth? Well, what is it worth versus its reprint clock versus what the reprint will be worth. I cannot believe this is defying gravity during this time and starting to go back up when we know Apollousa will be a target focus either in Battles of Legend and / or the Megatons. It could get a double whammy for all we know, like Boral Sword. Then we see Borreload Savage Dragon. There was a screenshot of this card at $128 cheapest. Now this first one is unfortunately a Japanese ultimate rare, so it's not even this low. It's towards $60. That we are almost guaranteed to see a reprint of the Savage Strike is a selling point of the Megatons, and you know they've already done Phantasme once, so like, man, I just don't know what people are thinking. Yes, it could end up in a secret rare slot, so it could be, that would be a rarity upgrade though. Why are you all buying into this versus the time you'll have to use it on the, like, is everybody planning on Minneapolis and Minneapolis still happening? I truly don't understand buys like these. I do kind of more so get these where, well, you're only talking about versus power creep, and you're talking about versus ban list while there's not many events or representation to implement ban lists. So I understand side set buys like these, even though Dual Overload has targeted and focused side sets as have other sets, but these are a little more concerning of buyouts to me. Now, Invocation, going back up. Alistair, Invoker of Madness, going back up. The Invoked are being a little focused here, and people are finding ways to play that with Eldritch because Eldritch doesn't really need a normal summon at all, and most of the restrictions are for the rest of the turn rather than the full turn. So the Invoked actually fit in pretty dang well. All of your traps become light zombies, which is macabre, one of the best things you can summon. So I understand now this is being played Shaddoll Invoked, which got better under the new Master Rule, and now you have Eldritch Invoked, which people are starting to figure out. So this is a great engine either way. I would love to see this reprinted in Battles of Legend, and it should be up for reprint there, but we don't know if Konami will focus a double reprint of these cards or just want them to retain value to sell another set down the road. Lightning Storm is going back upwards, and this one I think is one of the better ones because Ignition Assault is not set to have its reprints. I get that you can't play in events right now, but this card doesn't have that reprint clock directly focused on it, such as Savage and Apollousa, so people getting these, and people will be after playsets of these. I understand your reasoning much more here, and the Prismatic Secret Rare is up towards 500 lowest. The cheaper copies have disappeared, just as history repeats itself. Despite it not being a waifu like Masquerade and Apollousa, the other top Prismatics, this stands alone as you're getting a playset rather than one of for your extra deck, except for that time there were Spirals and people were going for 3 Apollousas. Seriously, the world's crazy. But when I look at this, this makes a lot more sense to be around this price despite it not being Gorl. When I look at Boral Sword and other cards around, this is a bit weird because we're getting more Megatons in, but I don't think people are directly aware of it, even though I've been shouting it from the rooftops. Megatons are appearing in many more vendors' hands all of a sudden, yet top card rising towards 22. Everybody wants their Boral Sword, and they're just becoming harder to get, despite the 10s floating back in. Speaking of 10s, Nibiru is up in price. People want playsets of these. Dark Ruler No More is up in price. People want playsets of these. These are really towards their max prices ever. Nibiru pushing 14, that's pretty crazy. Dark Ruler No More at 8, it's a great card. But wow, I haven't seen it played as much lately, I feel like, but the Break-A-Board Workshop still has to be there, and I feel like you should have a set as an option for siding. And historically, 10 cards don't get reprinted. People have been asking me when I think Nibiru's gonna get reprinted. I laugh, and then I point to a card like Norden. It got banned before it ever got reprinted and never got a reprint, so I don't think Nibiru is going to get a reprint. I think that's going to continue to be the selling point of the 10s as they give unlimited waves, and then it sits on shelves for a couple years like every Mega 10 does. Dual Overload has baby bumps here and there, but not too alarming. I do see Imperm starting to take over the set. We had called this one. It's at $23, $24 very quickly. So I see this taking over the #1 slot because people are after playsets. It's probably going to pass Halifabrax here and Anaconda. Anaconda will probably respike closer to the Megatons when we have actual events. So the first time we get that actual event where this is happening, expect the market to explode similar similar to today. Today is one of the craziest days on market, period, which is why I hope you are using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel directly. Now, not everything's up, up, up. I called this. Also, the international market is playing a huge part on Magician Souls, and it is actually trickling down in price here, with Spanish copies, German, other copies, and even the English are coming down thanks to that. So the international market is really being slammed on Magician Souls, and you have a chance to get cheaper copies if that's how you want to play. But also, like I said, people playing Eldritch, their focus is going a bit towards Invoked and other options right now in testing as the meta develops online. No, by the way, a meta is developing. The best players, you have to sniff this out yourself. You have to look around, do your own research. There's online tournaments for cash prizing where deck lists are being handed in and shown off, representations being shown, and you can go watch those games yourself, like the Pro Play Tour. So we have some of the best playing, and they're hiding nothing at all. So we're seeing the meta develop on a pace of clarity and transparency like never before, actually. And people might be fading away from this card or sticking to it. We'll have to see how it continues. Also, with that Eternity Code little sneak peek, I have a question for you. Are these going to be booty or getting in that booty? We have the Plunder Patrols. They're still pretty cheap in price, and I've seen Redbeard specifically kind of mixed in and sloshed into Mermails, so I'd like to see how this ends up. And that was like top rated DB. It looked more fun than Super Series, but it still was like, oh, you can do that as a kind of thing for me. These Ultra Rares were shorted, and then, you know, it's very, very cheap for the Secret Rares, although the XCs might be rebounding a little, so something to consider getting sooner than later. And also, some of the collector's market has been falling out during this time, surprisingly. It's what I thought would be hyper-focused, yet we see people lining up where you can max rarity that GOAT deck you've been waiting for all this time, 250, and not selling on 2 playsets. They're motivated sellers because they're undercutting everybody else, but yet they're not necessarily moving. So now might be the perfect time, while you have those checks, if you are going to not put them in savings, set them aside, then be careful with them. Well, you might want to be looking at the collector's market because there are some deals on there, but I guarantee they will not last for long. That being said, thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. And again, if you want to enter that giveaway, you got to do both of those things. Have your notification settings on public to where I can see your, who you're subscribed to, and then tell me your worst Yu-Gi-Oh! Impulse buy or drunk buy. Hopefully it was using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra. .meme. Thanks for watching, everybody.